first thing that hits you is how good Battlefield 1 looks. Regardless of your console of choice, or PC if that's your scene, you're treated to fantastic visuals. Battlefield 1 throws out all the stops to merge gritty photorealism in its environments with stellar weather effects. From wisps of smoke emanating from guns to the subtle hues of dusk, there's a sense of freshness about the proceedings. This is due in part thanks to the proven Frostbite engine and the premise itself, which allows for a sense of variety beyond your bog-standard military shooter. The grandeur isn't restricted to looks. It sports excellent sound design. Be it the rattling fire of a machine gun to the ominous creaking of a tank in your vicinity, it does a great job of putting a sense of urgency to the game. Speaking of urgency, it's a term that applies to the single-player campaign as well. Taking place across several theaters of war, you'll take to desert lands, foggy forests, and even snow-capped mountains. Rather than tie you to a single story, each of its missions have different protagonists. At best, you'll be up against the Ottoman war machine, including an armored train, while assisting Lawrence of Arabia, and at worst, you'll be scouring German camps in the countryside for parts to get your tank up and running as a British soldier. The sense of pacing is a tad inconsistent, but for most part, it works. When you're done with that, there's Battlefield 1's multiplayer. There's a host of modes including the usual favorites such as Team Deathmatch and Conquest, which has you capturing sections of the map, but the standout inclusion is Operations. It takes place in actual World War I settings and stitches the action across multiple maps. One team is tasked with defending a location while the other has to complete a set list of objectives. The loser gets access to a massive weapon of war, which the game refers to as a behemoth. These include zeppelins and armored train to level the battlefield completely. It results in a relentless back and forth between teams, making it a tense yet completely compelling experience. While it's yet to be seen how the game's netcode plays up when subject to a larger audience, there's very little amiss. Old-timers will notice the series' signature pace of play that hasn't diminished too much, while newcomers won't take long to get up to speed. Suffice to say, it's accessible enough without being pandering. And even when you are losing, the sheer chaos, great gunplay, and superlative production values do a fair bit to have you coming back for more. Having said that, our concerns are few. With a roadmap of multiplayer downloadable content planned, it makes Battlefield 1 a tough sell for first-timers. Reason being, to get the full experience, you'll be paying a lot more than the minimum of 3,375 rupees to play it, particularly if you're in it for the multiplayer. The impact of not purchasing DLC means you'd be cordoned off from what the rest of the community is playing, effectively reducing the number of people you have to play with. For now though, the base game is well worth the price of admission, and we'd recommend waiting for deals on its season pass and other content before jumping in. Battlefield 1 is a slick, fresh entry in a franchise that helped pioneer the first-person military shooter genre. World War I has been thought of as the dawn of modern warfare, and Battlefield 1 sets the standard of what to expect. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at Gadgets360.